Kristaps Porzingis is playing in his 200th game tonight. Saw an interesting stat today. First player in NBA history with 300-plus made field goals, 400-plus blocks in less than 200 games. Can you speak to the uniqueness of his game and how he continues to build within the team system here?
Yeah, he's a very unique player, and I know that most of you probably aware he's got 4 double-doubles in a row for the first time in his career, which seemed, was surprising to me that he hadn't done it to this point. But he's been very, very good defensively, and offensively, he keeps getting better with his rhythm and his feel for his teammates and stuff like that. He's just a very unique player with his length, size, anticipation. His ability to block shots is tremendous, and he's very, very good at keeping the ball in play or locking it to a teammate or to himself. And so it's been a big factor in some games that we've won, a couple of road games in particular. So, I'm real happy for him, and 200 games in this league is a lot of games.
How tough is that transition, Rick? When you're a superstar on one team and you come to another team, they already have a superstar.
I don't get into the superstar stuff. We have a team, and we have a bunch of guys that are part of it, and there are stars, and there are conversations about who's a star and who's a superstar. But we have a team, and that's how we got to function the thing. I'm not big on stuff like that. I'm not big on awards. I'm not big on all-star berths, stuff like that. Those things take care of themselves by, how well you play, but more importantly, how much you win.
Offensively, is he totally comfortable yet? Is he still finding his way in the system and this team?
He's getting there all the time. Again, I think it's important to just keep the expectations reasonable, and I think as time goes along, we're tweaking the offense. We're getting him in some different situations, which we feel are better. And defensively, he does things that really are very, very unique, that are really important to us.
What are those other situations you're trying to get him into?
We're going to talk about it. You're watching the games.
I do.
But he's a great cutter. He runs well. His outside shooting is a real force and sets up a lot of other things. And I feel he's a very effective player off of movement. So we want to get him moving around more. And he's been he's been doing well with it.
Coach, you've been around the NBA for a long time. Can you recall any other 20-year-old? You're old, man. But no, you've been around the league a long time, and can you recall any other player at age 20 doing what Luka is doing, and who does he remind you of the most throughout NBA history?
He reminds me of Luka Doncic, the original Luka Doncic. I'm a little like Donnie Nelson when it comes to this kind of stuff. I think, as great as Luka is playing and has played, the comparison to other star players, is just a tough thing to get into. I think he's an original. I think he's, one of a kind that just is kind of his own person, his own man, and he's doing things that are very unique to himself. It's not hard to go back in history and find guys that have been very good in their first and second year, but again, I just am reluctant to get into playing that game. I think, we have our situation and what we're trying to do, and we got to stay focused on that.
Why is it so tough for not just y'all, but most teams to run the table on a extended home stand?
Well, a lot of teams fall into the trap of, just feeling like since they're home, things are going to be okay. And it's challenging really for any team in the league, you know. So, you know, we have an opportunity tonight, but we certainly are not looking past this game. These guys have put together some very good road games this year, and you know, they can score. You know, they hit us for 17 threes last game, and you know, we were lucky to survive that.
Rick, what's Seth's status?
Seth is going to not play tonight. He's doing better. He did some things in our shoot this morning, but he's just not there yet. You know, he's not quite feeling as good as he needs to feel, and so hopefully, you know, it'll be soon.
Coach, Boban and Porzingis had some great minutes together on the floor last time you guys played Cleveland. Was that something that y'all had practiced much, or was that just kind of the feel of that particular game, throwing them out there together?
They had played together some, probably more in training camp than in regular practices. But it's a lineup that can certainly function because, you know, KP is the 4, generally speaking, and Boban's the 5 all the time. There's no situation, I don't think, there just isn't where he would need to play anything but 5. So I don't know. They played together in the Vancouver game. They may have played together in a little bit in one of the other games, one of the other preseason games. But you know, if we need to go to it for whatever reason, you know, I'm certainly not reluctant to do it.
Aside from his awesome size, what makes Boban unique as a player?
His feel. You know, he's a remarkable feel and knowledge for the game, and he passes it well. He's got amazing hands, and you know, he catches everything. He's a very good defensive rebounder, and if we can get him inside the paint, he's a really effective offensive rebounder because of his size, and he's a tenacious rebounder as well. So he does a lot of things very, very well, and you know, he didn't play the first 4 games of the season, but in the 5th game, you know, we needed him, and he went in and he was totally ready and went in and performed well. So he's a total professional on top of all those things.
The theme of yours the last couple of years to try to get off to good starts. I know you want to keep this going, but how nice is it to be off to a decent start and feel like maybe you're playing from ahead a little bit compared to the last few years?
You're talking about overall, the season overall? Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, in virtually any sport, you know, any kind of playoff series, any of that kind of stuff, you know, playing from in front is huge. And this first 15 games of the schedule has been one of our favorable stretches for the whole season. And so, you know, we've got an opportunity to take advantage of another home game tonight, but not going to be easy. And then, you know, as we go along, we've got more road games against better and better teams. So you got to get as many as you can, as quickly as you can, and keep going.
Hey there, NBA fans. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe at Fanatics View down below.